Beautiful. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ladies Power Lunch. It's Free Gift Friday, but this week is particularly fantastic. All the weeks are fantastic, but this one, it's just been amazing. We have been focusing on mastering our money mindset. Say that three times fast because it's a May money makeover madness. What? We are having such a great time. On Monday, we were over on Clubhouse having some really deep discussions about just where all these ideas have come from that we think about when we think about our money. Then on Tuesday, Celeste joined us and she just brought all the things. Celeste is this tiny person, and when she opens her mouth and her wisdom pours out, it's amazing. If you missed the session with Celeste, you can check it out over on our Ladies Power Lunch YouTube channel. That's youtube.ladiespowerlunch.com. And on Wednesday, we had Celeste's friend, who is Heather Esposito. I was meeting Heather for the first time, but I've got to tell you, it felt like I'd known her forever because she's so open and so welcoming and so wise about money. She shared with us about our money archetypes, and it's very interesting. It's not a one size fits all thing when it comes to how we relate to money. And we do have some patterns that are inherent. And so if you haven't taken the quiz as yet, it's somewhere in the feed over on Ladies Power Lunch. So I would invite you to go on over there and just check that out. Take the quiz, post about what your results are. Let's keep the conversation going surrounding that. Yesterday, we talked a bit about pricing. I know a lot of people have some issues about raising their prices and that sort of thing. We really spent some time talking about things like that. And today, this morning, we had the wonderful Jackie Baldwin, and she shared with us about how to retire without fear. So it's been quite a week. Wow. And guess what? We have a wonderful way to top everything off. I would love to share with you my very dear friend, Veronica Wirth, and she's going to be talking to us also about mastering our money mindsets. But before we dive right in, I want to invite the people who have been so kind to show up on the Zoom with us today to introduce themselves. Christy and Elizabeth, would you mind unmuting and just sharing very briefly who you are, what it is that you do, and why you thought it was important to join us on the call today?
Okay, I'll start. I'm Christy Sullivan, I'm a human design expert and self-care influencer. And I've been tuning in this week. I love the topic of money, learning different ways to think about it, hearing different perspectives, and excited to hear about Veronica. And I just learned of you through Darla's conference. So I'm looking forward to hearing your wisdom today.
Wonderful. And Christy, just one other quick question. What was your biggest takeaway from our week so far? Because you've been on quite a few of the calls.
Yeah, I've been on a lot of calls. So I think just the idea that to not be intimidated by money. I mentioned on yesterday's calls, like if you thought of money as a boyfriend or a potential boyfriend, like, or even someone said, if you're desperate, you repel money, or if you're not looking for the relationship, then there is no relationship. So just to really see money as that energy to bring in and enjoy. And so it's about shifting money in that old paradigm that we've been programmed with, that it's related to work or it's a necessity for the world to function. And it is, but it's so much more than that.
I love that, Christy. Thank you so much. Elizabeth, welcome. Thanks for joining. Who are you? What do you do? And why on earth are you here?
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Hill, and I'm a publisher and coach. I'm the CEO of Greenheart Living and Greenheart Living Press. So I am here, first of all, I know Veronica and know her well, and she has been in one of our book collaboratives. So I know that she's a wise lady. So I want to learn more from her. And I love this idea of a financial shaman. Like, that title is that draws me so much, because I want my whole life to be spiritually aligned and feeling right, but I don't always think of that applying to money too. So I'm super excited to hear about that perspective.
I love that. We were all, and I really I try to make these evergreen so that if you watch this 5 years from now, it will still be meaningful. But we were on a retreat this weekend with one of our dear friends and Ladies Power Lunch members, Darla Ledoux. And she talked a little bit about the fact that you are not your business and that your business is an entity in and of itself. And it's really nice to have a shaman that is focused on your business. How wonderful is that? So, Veronica, without further ado, or with lots more ado, I'd love to welcome you. Can I tell everybody about the day that we met? Is that okay?
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
guys, I love Veronica so much. I really, really do. And I know you hear me say this a lot of the times about a lot of our guests, and it's always true. The first time I met Veronica, we just kind of ran towards each other like magnets. And it was weird because then I was standing there awkwardly, like, why am I running towards this woman? But it's so interesting that we are so alike and we are such good friends now. We didn't even know each other at that time. And we felt, didn't you feel that pull? Like, oh my goodness, I've
Totally.
got to know her. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited to share her wisdom with you all today. Veronica, share, who are you? What do you do? And what are you going to talk to us about today?
Thank you. Well, my main business is evolvative, and I have been helping people with their businesses and brands for many years, and bringing more and more of my spiritual work and my shamanic work into what I do. And so I just recently launched the Athena Matrix Collective, which is a membership where I work more specifically with energy work, shamanic work, um, and give that to people on a monthly basis. So it's a really fun playground, and finding that the work is very powerful. I'm constantly amazed at the power of energy, and just how we can work with that and shift that more consciously in ourselves and in our work, and like the amazing repercussions that has. It's just incredible, and it's a lot of fun for me. um, yeah, so that's what I'm doing, and I really wanted to speak today about, and maybe dive in, perhaps if we have time, a little bit of experiencing the energy of abundance and how we run that through ourselves, our own lives and bodies, and through our business, and just kind of talking about some concepts around that, and hopefully that will help um, bring more awareness to that, and some tools that might help too.
Wonderful. So, Veronica, what is the number one thing that you think is holding most of us back from the abundance that we could actually be experiencing? What's the thing?
In a nutshell, and from my own experience too,
Yeah,
it's
just break
the
it down to like this one point so we
yeah.
can just solve our lives and get on with it.
Yeah, so it's just so simple. It's fear. um, and that's the most basic, down to its most basic form, in my opinion. It's whenever we go to an energy of fear, there's a constriction that happens, and that automatically diminishes the flow of the universal flow of energy through us, and subsequently through our business. But I find, and your listeners, I can probably relate, fear has many, many faces and shows up in many ways, in our, not only consciously in our moments where we feel afraid, but also often subconsciously, just in patternings and habits and beliefs that we've carried, with us through our lives, or that have been given to us through, others in our life, or even ancestrally, that, we've come in with. Um, so a lot of energy work is about breaking that up, and kind of unearthing it, bringing it to consciousness, and then being able to move it out and consciously replace that with expansive and positive um, energy and
Interesting.
thoughts. Yeah.
Interesting. What are some of the things that you think we all could be doing every day to increase our abundance?
Um, One of the most powerful things, and it's probably not a new concept to most of you, but it's really pattern interrupting.
Hmm.
And it's first becoming aware of behaviors around limitation, um, or just I guess it's another way of saying limitation, where you sort of put a cap on what's possible. I find that often happens with very creative people, especially. And
Hmm.
and then the other piece is, oh, I just lost my train of thought.
Cap
um,
on what's possible.
yeah, cap on what's possible, um, and uh, and then just shifting that. So I forgot what you asked your question again. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Oh, just, trying to see what are some of the things that we can do every day to support that abundance in our
Thank
lives.
you. Thank you. No, so my point was to interrupt that pattern. So be first becoming aware of it, where it shows up, and then catching it. Like, I think sometimes we feel like we have to do this big upheaval and change, change, change. And if we don't change, something's wrong with us. And and like, oh darn it, I slipped into that again. But it's really these little tiny incremental changes that make such a huge difference. So that's one of the things I always start with, and I've found to be very powerful, is like just catching and going, okay, what's the new vibration? How can I tune in to the vibration I want to be carrying? Like, what's the conscious vibration I want to create? And then when I catch myself in the old habitual patterning or vibration, just to interrupt it and go, oh, I'm just going to do something different. It doesn't have to be major, but just to shift it and go, okay, I'm just going to tune in instead of following my hamster wheel in my mind or trying to force something. I'm going to just stop for a second and do something different. I'm going to take 5 deep breaths, and it's just that like shifting that pattern, and it gets easier and easier over time.
Veronica, what's the one thing that you find when you're working with business owners, that one thing that if you could just get them to just stop doing that, what would that thing be?
um,
Business owners, we're a strange breed of people.
we
We're
are.
we're very, very unusual. And, I find that we have certain patterns that show up among us. Is there something that we're all doing and we're just doing it wrong?
I would say I'm trying to draw the common thread that would go resonate for most, but I would say that probably overdoing, like the doing piece.
Everybody's nodding their heads. It's hilarious. I'm
I know.
seeing
Can
hearts and
anyone
likes
relate?
over on our Facebook group. It's hilarious. Everybody's like, uh-huh.
So yeah, I mean, and I'm speaking from my own experience too, right? And oh my God, all the negative voices that come screaming in when I think, okay, I'm not gonna do, I'm just gonna take a break. Yeah, totally, Christy, overworking for sure. Um, and to clarify, like, there's nothing wrong with working hard, right? But and I was just talking to a client about this morning. It's the energy that we bring to the actions that we take. And it's the energy that we are actually in and vibrating at when we take the actions that we take. That is 99% of the effectiveness of any action. So it's when we're in doing or overworking mode, and it's I'm not going to say mindless, but when it's almost like when it's either driven by fear, like, oh my God, I got to pay the rent. Oh my God, I got to get more clients. Or it's driven by habitual behavior. Like, we just don't know how to not do. So we do and do and do. Can anyone relate to that one? Yeah, and I know for myself, and and probably a lot of people here can relate. as an entrepreneur, I felt like if I wasn't busy in my business, that something bad would happen. Like, um, I would drop the one of the balls might drop, something bad, something's going to suffer in my business if I'm not busy in my business and working hard and doing all the things. Um, and I've, in doing this work, I've discovered that it's much more about intentionality, um, and going vibration first and then acting, checking in first, then doing. It's been a complete game changer.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. So you said that if we have enough time, maybe we could convince you to share an experience with us.
Yeah, it was before I got on the call, I tuned in a little bit to ask for guidance and what might be valuable to share. And I'd love to take you guys through a short visualization and an energy adjustment if that's agreeable with you.
Who wants an energy adjustment? All hands raised. I have like both hands raised right now.
Yeah, right. Can we put more up?
Awesome. Well, thank you,
Wonderful.
Veronica. I'm going to go ahead and put myself on mute and I'm going to hand everything over to you.
Super. Yeah, we'll keep it at about 10 minutes, I think. Should be. Is that okay, Davia, if I would do 10 minutes? Okay, thanks. So, well, great. So I'm going totally on intuition. We're going to let intuition and the universe guide our way here. So close your eyes, get yourself in a comfortable spot. And you're going to take a nice deep breath. In fact, we'll do a wave breath. The breathing in, letting your chest expand, then your rib cage, and then your belly. And then exhaling, chest and rib cage, and lastly the belly. And inhaling again, expanding your belly, your rib cage, and your chest. And then chest, rib cage, and belly, letting the air out. One more breath this way. And letting your shoulders drop, letting your jaw relax. And with your next exhale, just imagine dropping down through the base of your spine, through the bottom of your feet, some golden roots, like little fine golden roots, just finding their way down into the deep dark loam. And continuing down, just connecting into that quiet heart of Mother Earth. Feeling her heartbeat, that beautiful, powerful, supportive energy, incredible creative energy that resides in the earth. And also healing. Mother Earth knows how to do all these things so naturally. So breathe all that up through those roots into your body. Letting your body and your cells remember that you are made of this. You are made of the earth. So you also carry that innate knowing of how to heal, how to create, how to receive support. And then doing the same thing with our inhale. Next inhale, Just imagining traveling that inhale up through the top of your head and reaching up to the sun above you. And just feeling the light of source, like golden sunlight coming down, lighting up the whole interior of your body, all the space around you, and feeling the warmth of those golden rays. Just bathing you in light. And letting your cells and your whole being remember that you are also made of this. And letting those two energies circulate through your body. Letting your cells respond to this naturally, effortlessly, rebalancing, tuning up. And scanning your body as you observe this and feel this energy moving and circulating in your body. And scanning your body for any area or areas that feel a little bit more dense or closed. And just drawing your focus there. And with your intention, bringing light, a little bit more light to that area. And a little bit more earth energy and healing to that area. And support. And just ask your body, what does that space in your body need right now? And as you receive that, whether it's just a sense or words or however you receive it, just letting that light and earth energy soften that space, even if just a little bit. Bring a little more opening, a little more balance. Gentle reminder of its natural state of flow. And just scanning your body once again, just seeing if there's any other spaces in your body that require your care right now. Doing the same thing, bringing a little more light and earth energy to that space, breathing a little more release into it. And they're showing me actually a visualization of a river, as if you were moving some rocks and pebbles out of the way to open up the flow. Lovingly, gently, with care. And see now a river, or imagine a river flowing from the top of your head all the way through the center of your body and all the way down through the base of your spine, through your legs, out the bottom of your feet. And really feeling and sensing or seeing that energy of flow, that water flowing through you. And this is the abundance of the universe. So, like that river, letting your body know and remember that this flow, this water, this flow of energy is always happening, is always moving. And it's just sometimes some twigs get in the way or some rocks get in the way, and that flow gets diverted or halted for a little while temporarily. And all we need to do is just to gently move the blockage and let that water flow again. And tuning into your heart. We're going to start breathing breathing through your heart center, almost like it were a lung. They're showing me a pattern to breathe in and imagine energy coming out through the front of your heart and opening up like a big flower. And then let that energy circulate around and come in through your back, the back of your heart, and then out again. It's like a giant torus. And circulating this heart, clearing this space. And so feeling like your breath is actually kind of the engine behind this circulation of energy. And reconnecting you with your desire, with your joy, with all the feelings that draw you toward doing the things you love to do. Versus feeling pressed or pushed into doing things. Energizing and building this flow starts to create a stronger current than fear, so that you actually feel a pull, a natural gravitational pull toward doing things that support that heart energy in you. So they're actually saying whenever you feel like you go into default energy or you go into anything that's based in fear, to stop and do this kind of breath through your heart and reconnect. Reconnect on a very physical level and also energetic level and emotional level. Waking up the heart to remember all that you love, all that sparks joy for you, uniquely for you. So deep breath, let your hands come together, and with the touching of your palms, just sort of locking in this body memory for yourself, that you can reconnect to this space in you anytime when you bring your hands back together like this. And becoming fully present in your body, just feeling where your body is connected to the chair, where your feet are touching the floor, where your back is touching the chair. And when you feel centered, you can open your eyes.
Thank you, Veronica.
You're so welcome.
That was wonderful. I just want to take a minute to find out from Christy or Elizabeth if you guys have any questions for Veronica. Any questions, concerns, anything that you'd like her to answer before she takes her leave of us today?
I'll just say thank you. That was lovely. That was really like, it went deep.
Yes.
Yeah, I felt so tingly over my whole body. It felt so good. Thank you so much for helping me feel into that. I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
beautiful. Thank you, Veronica. So I'm so grateful that you said yes to hanging out with us today. And I would love to give away your gifts. I think that anybody who was able to have the gift of hopping on a call with you would be just blessed by being in your energy. And so I'm going to invite you to choose a number between 1 and 20. What's your
oh, for
lucky
me.
number? Yes.
12.
12. Okay, let's see. And wouldn't you just know, our winner for today's Free Gift Friday is Julia Bernatsky. She joined us over on our Facebook group. And so I'm going to connect you guys and you guys can hop on a call together. And I
Oh,
think it's just, there is a reason for this. Those of you who know both Veronica and Julia know that this meeting of the minds had to take place. There are no coincidences.
totally. Oh, I'm
So
excited.
wonderful. Yes.
Wonderful.
Two of my
Yeah, and I'd
favorite
love to.
people getting together. This is the world may just explode.
Wonderful. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you everybody who came and who may be watching in the future. And thank you, Davia, of course. My gosh, I just love you to bits, girl.
You do
And
too. So
I love
great.
the work you do in the world is so amazing and precious. So thank you.
Thank you, and you as well. Ladies, it's been my pleasure to host this, but to tell you the truth, I am constantly telling everybody not to overwork, and I am the biggest culprit when it comes to overworking. And so taking this time during the day just to have 10 minutes to decompress a little bit was everything. I absolutely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody who joined us over on Facebook. And thanks to everybody who's listening to the podcast, watching on YouTube, however it is that you are connecting with us. Thank you for bringing us into your life. We look forward to seeing you next time. And you guys have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you on the next show. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.